new formula for you, like sine A plus B. So it's how much? Sine A cos B plus cos A sin B. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you what is sine A minus B, this is sine A. Yeah, very good. Cos A sin B. Achha, if I ask you what is cos A plus B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. And if I ask you what is cos A minus B, then this will be cos A cos B, and then it should be plus sin A into sin B. If I ask you what is tan A plus B, tan A plus B, then this is tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A into tan B. And if I ask you what is tan A minus B, then the denominator will be plus, and here it is minus. So this is tan A minus tan B divided by 1 plus tan A into tan B. Now with the help of the all basics sine cos tan, we can write so many other formulas. As for example, suppose if A is equal to B, means A and B are equal, then what will happen? If A equals to B, then you will have sine A plus A, 2A, sine 2A. So from here it is sine A plus B is also A. So this is sine A cos A plus cos A sin A. Now we have replaced B everywhere by A. The formula becomes sine 2A. Sine 2A is 2 times. So 2 sin A into cos A. This is one of the formula derived from this relation. Similarly, if you want to write cos A plus B, so then cos A plus B, B is also A from here only. So then this is cos A into cos B, B is also A, minus sin A into sin B. So should I write cos square A minus sin square A? Yeah, this is cos 2A. And if you want to write cos square A and then replace the sin square A by 1 minus cos square A, then this will be minus into minus plus cos square A plus cos square A. So this is 2 cos square A minus 1, and this side it is cos 2A. So if I ask you what is cos square A, then 1 should be taken left side. So 1 plus cos 2A is how much? It's 2 cos square A. So starting from here, so 1 plus cos 2A is 2 cos square A. Then what is cos square A? Simply cos square A is 1 plus cos 2A divided by 2. Cos square A is 1 plus cos 2A divided by 2. Now you can change this one also. Again we are writing cos 2A is equal to cos square A minus sin square A. So let me write cos square A as 1 minus sin square A. So this cos square A is 1 minus sin square A, and here also sin square A. So this is 1 minus 2 sin square A. Okay, this is cos 2A. So if you take 2 sine square A left side, then it is 2 sine square A, and cos 2A to the right side, then it is 1 minus cos 2A. So tell me what is sine square A? The formula becomes 1 minus cos 2A by 2. These are a useful formula. I mean, in physics you need such types of relation because there are so many instances where you see these formula are useful in physics. So sin square A is 1 minus cos 2A by 2. Similarly, cos square A is 1 plus cos 2A by 2. Okay. If you put A, that is A by 2, A by 2, then what will happen? If this A is A by 2, this B is also A by 2. Then the formula reduces sin, see, sin 2A is 2 sin A into cos A. The moment you replace A by 2, then sin A, sin 2 into A is A by 2. Sin 2A, let us replace A by 2, is equal to 2 sin A means A by 2, and then cos A means A by 2. So then 2 will cancel out, then sin A is simply 2 sin A by 2 into cos A by 2. 2 sin A by 2 into cos A by 2. Okay. Now similarly, if you put this A is A by 2, then this is cos square A by 2 minus sin square A by 2. And finally, cos 2A is 2 cos square A minus 1. So the moment you put A by 2, then it is cos 2, A means A by 2. This is 2 cos square A by 2 minus 1. So it's simply cos A. Then formula reduces to cos A is equal to 2 cos square A by 2 minus 1. 2 cos square A by 2 minus 1. Okay, have you noted all this? Someone can take the snapshot and then we will rub the board for the next writing portion. Okay, someone can take the snapshot. Okay. Then should I rub the board? All of you have written? Yeah, all of you have written. Now, rubbing this portion. Okay, I will rub this portion later on. See, 10A plus B. The moment you put A is equal to B. So, if A equals to B, then what is 10A plus B? A plus A. A plus A. This is 10A plus 10B is also 10A divided by 1 minus 10A into 10B is also 10A. So this is numerator is 2 10A and denominator is 1 minus 10 square A. And this side it is 10 2A. And if you put A is equal to A by 2, then 10A is simply 10A is how much? 210 A by 2. So A by 2 is only with A, not with 10A whole divided by 2. No. This is 1 minus 10 square A by 2. 10 square A by 2. Now we are rubbing the lower part. Okay, this side also I can rub. All of you have written? Now if you write sine A plus B plus sine A minus B. So the basic formula is you have to expand sine A plus B, write the expansion, which is sine A cos B plus cos A sine B, and then plus sine A minus B, which is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. Okay. See the similar term, cos A sine B minus plus, you can cancel it. So then you are left with sine A cos B, that is 2 sine A into cos B is the formula for sine A plus B plus sine A minus B. Okay. Now if you write cos A plus B plus cos A minus B, cos A plus B plus cos A minus B, then your result will be cos A plus B is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, and then plus cos A minus B is cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. Am I right? Plus sin A sin B. Say this sin A sin B will cancel out, and the final result is 2 cos A into cos B. So cos A plus B and then cos plus cos A minus B, this formula we have written. The another formula is sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. Sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. So sin A plus B, again you have to expand. So sin A cos B, okay, then plus cos A sin B minus, and then put a bracket, because this is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. Okay, and then open the bracket. Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B minus sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. Now cancel if there is a term, there are terms which are equal and opposite. Yeah, minus sin A cos B plus these two terms will cancel out, and you are left with 2 cos A into sin B. Formula for sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. Similarly, you can write the formula for cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. So cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. How will you expand it? This is cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. Remember, if it is minus, then it will be plus. If it is plus, then it will be minus. So okay, then put a negative sign and then put a bracket. Cos A plus B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So what you get? See, this is minus cos A cos B plus cos A cos B. So this term will be cancelled out. Sin A sin B plus sin A sin B. So the final result is 2 times of sin A sin B. 2 times of sine A, that is 2 into sine A into sine B. All of you have written, or you can take the snapshot also. Taken the snapshot. So should I move for the next? Yeah. Now I am rubbing the upper part, this one. I told you very before that these parts are not in the syllabus. So why I am teaching? Because it will be helpful for you to understand the concept of physics. Because physics has no language of its own. Physics speaks anything in the mathematics of in the language of mathematics. Okay, so mathematics is our language. Yes, one must be familiar with the mathematics. As I mean, primary mathematics. You should know these types of formula, like simple formula of integration, differentiation. Then only you can understand the depth of physics. Okay. Now, if consider if A plus B is equal to C and A minus B, consider it as D. Then what will be the value of A? Just add these two. So adding, this is 2A is equal to C plus D. So A is equal to C plus D by 2. And if you want to find B, then what to do? If you want to find D, then subtract. So then 2B is equal to C minus D. Then B equals to C minus D by 2. C minus D by 2. This way you are getting A and B. Now sin C plus sin D, it's how much? Sin C plus sin D. Why I have written, see, sin, this is C, this is D. So sin C plus sin D. So you have to change, wherever it is A should be replaced by C plus D by 2 and B should be replaced by C minus D by 2. So then formula is 2 sin A. This is 2 sin A. What is A? A is C plus D by 2. Okay. Then into cos B. B is what? C minus D by 2. This is one of the formula, sin C plus sin D. Similarly, if you want to write sin C minus sin D, then what to do? Sin C, this is C, this is D. So sin C minus sin D, the final result is sin C minus sin D is 2 cos A sin B. So this is 2 cos A. A means C plus D by 2. So this is C plus D by 2 into say 2 cos A sin C minus sin D. So the result is, here is result, 2 cos A sin B. So A is C plus D by 2 into sin B is C minus D by 2. So into sin C minus D by 2. So what is sin C plus sin D? What is sin C minus sin D? The formula is very much clear to you. It is 2 sin C plus D by 2 into cos C minus D by 2. Sin C minus sin D is 2 cos C plus D by 2 into sin C minus D by 2. Now in a similar way you can write cos C plus cos D. Cos C plus cos D. So tell me what is cos C plus cos D? So what is cos A plus B? See, cos C plus cos D. The formula is 2 cos A. It's 2 cos A. A means C plus D by 2. C plus D by 2 into 2 cos A cos B. Cos B is C minus D by 2. And if you want to write cos C minus cos D, So then take the help of this relation. So actually D is first. So cos D minus cos C. This part is C. So we are writing cos D minus cos C. Okay. So cos D minus cos C. You have written the final relation 2 sin A into sin B. So this is 2 sin A. A is what? A means C plus D by 2. C plus D by 2. And then sin B. Sin B is B means C minus D by 2. C minus D by 2. This is cos D minus cos C. If you want to write cos C minus cos D, then you have to apply a negative sign here. Then formula reduces to, now we are rubbing this part because this you have already taken the snapshot. Okay. Okay. Now I am writing cos C first minus cos D. So then if you write cos C first, then a negative sign will come and that negative sign should be transferred to right side. Then minus 2 sin C plus D by 2 into sin C minus D by 2. At the same time, you know the formula sin minus theta minus sin theta is equal to sin of minus theta. But cos of minus theta is cos theta only. Cos of minus theta is cos theta only. But sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. So using cos of minus theta is cos theta and this minus sin. Actually there is one relation, expansion of sin theta and cos theta. There if you put the value of theta, positive, negative, then you will see cos of minus theta is cos theta and sin theta, sin of minus theta, this one is minus sin theta. That relation is actually De Morbius theorem. So you have to study that De Morbius theorem in trigonometry. So this is minus sin theta, sin minus theta. Now minus of this term, how can you write it? So cos C minus cos D is equal to minus. Now we are writing minus here only and then 2 sin C plus D by 2 into C minus sin theta is what? Sin of minus theta. So if you put minus here, then the result will be sin minus C plus D. So should I write D minus C by 2? Then it is D minus C comes first. D minus C by 2. So cos C minus cos D is 2 sin C plus D by 2 into sin, it's not C minus D, rather D minus C by 2. D minus C by 2. Sin D minus C by 2. So all of you have written, though I am not a mathematics teacher, but actually my motto is to inform you about some mathematics, formula useful for the physics, and that's why I am writing formula only. Now sin, that you know from class 10 standard, sin theta perpendicular by hypotenuse, cos theta base by, yeah, this is clear to you, sin theta cos theta, okay. Then sin square theta plus cos square theta 1, that basic formula you have already studied in class 10 standard. This may be new for you, one may not study in class 10 standard. But in 11 you have to study all these things in mathematics. One separate book is there, trigonometry. There you have to study all these things. So that will be done say after 2, 3 or 4 months. Then you will be acquainted with this formula. And in physics we need from the day we start it. So that's why we are doing this type of relations. Now a simple question I am asking, sine, 1 radian is how much? degree. 1 radian is, yeah, pi radian is 180 degree. You may write pi radian is 180 degree. So 1 radian is how much? So if you divide 180 by 22, 7 here, then it is how much? It's 90, 630 by 11. Approximately 57 point something, approximately 57 degree, 1 radian. So if I ask you what do you mean by radian, how will you define 1 radian? So it's a very simple concept. If you have a circle, okay, and its radius is r. Now take an arc of the circle. This is arc, and length of the arc, suppose it is r, equal to the radius, equal to the radius. So this may be this much distance. So this length of the arc, if it is equal to the radius of the circle, then see the angle. This angle is theta, and then if theta is measured in radian, then theta equals to L by R. And the moment L becomes equal to R, length of the arc becomes equal to the radius of the circle, then theta is equal to 1 by 1, that is L by L. So L by L is what? 1 radian. This is called 1 radian. So 1 radian is the angle subtended by the arc of a circle at the center of circle, whose length, length of the arc, is equal to radius of the circle. So okay, this angle is called 1 radian. Now if I ask you, so sine, what is the value of sine 30? Who will tell me? What is the value of sine 30? Yeah, it's how much? Half, 1 by 2. Some of your friend may say it is 0.5. So I think no difference, 1 by 2 or 0.5. Remember, what you have committed the mistake, sine 30 will never be half. Sine 30 degree is half. Sine 30 means sine 30 radian. Sine 30 radian. So this is a common mistake which a student commits. So sine 30, if I ask you what is the value of sine 30, your answer should not be 1 by 2. Why? Because I am not tailing the degree part. Whether it is sine 30 degree, if degree is not mentioned, then this is radian. Sine 30 radian. So sine 30 will never be half. Okay? Similarly, if I ask you which one is greater, sine 1 or sine 1 degree? Sine 1 or sine 1 degree? So if I am telling sine 1, if I am telling sine pi, nobody will say sine pi radian. Sine pi. And it's understood that pi means pi radian. So sine pi. So similarly, sine 1 means sine 57 degree. And the value of sine increases with the increase in angle theta. Sine 0 degree, 0. Sine 90 degree, 1. But in case of cos, the value of cos theta decreases with increase in theta. You know, cos 0 degree is 1. Cos 90 degree is 0. So sine 1 means sine 57 degree. And obviously, it should be greater than sine 1 degree. Sine 1 degree. Now take the snapshot. I will rub the board. Yeah. Taken. Okay. Then we are talking about a few concepts of that coordinate geometry, because it is equally important. Now, coordinate geometry. That portion sin theta, sin 90 plus theta, sin 90 minus theta, cos 90 plus theta, cos 90 minus theta. This portion you can do yourself. Yeah, sin 90 plus theta, cos theta. Sin 90 minus theta, again cos theta. Cos 90 plus theta minus sin theta. Cos 90 minus theta, sin theta. So, sin cos 10. Accordingly, the theta, fourth quadrant, third quadrant, first, second, third, fourth quadrant. So, in which of the part it will be positive, it will be negative, positive, negative, that you have to study yourself. Okay? I think in class 10 standard it is there now. Is it there? Sin 90 plus theta, cos 90 plus theta. So you can do, no, because you know the formula sin A plus B, sin A minus B. So if it is sin 90 plus theta, so what? So sin A plus B, expand it. If you don't know, then if you are knowing the basic formula of sin A plus B, sin A minus B, or sin A sin A plus B, sin A minus B, then cos A plus B, cos A minus B, you can just put that result. Do it. So, not tough. You can do yourself, because I have given you the key through which you can know the concept. Now, if I ask you, if someone doesn't know what is sin 90 plus theta, okay, but he knows what is sin A plus B. So this is sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Okay, cos 90 degree, 0. So this part becomes 0. Sin 90 degree 1. So this is cos theta only. In a similar way, you can write sin A minus B, that is 90 degree minus theta. Then it's how much? Sin 90 cos theta minus cos 90 sin theta, not theta. Oh, I am writing theta here, no? Okay. Here it is theta. No problem? Then cos 90 sin theta. So this part is now again 0. This is cos theta only. So whether it is sin 90 plus theta or sin 90 minus theta, in both the case you are getting cos theta. But what about cos 90 plus theta? Cos 90 plus theta. Now remember cos A plus B. Cos A, cos B, yeah, minus. If it is plus, it will be minus. Minus, yeah, sin A, sin B. Now cos 90 plus 90 degree 0, this part is 0. So minus sin 91 minus sin theta. So this is minus sin theta. So this way you can learn cos 90 plus theta, and similarly cos 90 minus theta. 90 minus theta. So it's how much? Cos A, cos B, then it will be plus sin A, sin B. So again the first part is 0, sin 91, this is sin theta only. So cos 90 degree minus theta is sin theta, whereas cos 90 plus theta is minus cos theta. Yeah? So similarly you can find 10A plus B. I have given you the formula. 1090 plus theta, 1090 minus theta. So put the value of A 90 theta, B theta, and then write on the formula, you will get the result. What will be the result? So this is also useful. Sometimes you need this type of formula. Sin 90 plus theta is how much, cos 90 plus theta is how much, sometimes sin 180 plus theta. Okay, no problem. Sin, if I ask you sin 180 plus theta, tell me what will be its value. Now if you are not remembering the formula, nothing will happen. You can write 90 plus theta. Okay, assume this whole as theta. Then what will happen? So you know sin 90 plus theta is cos theta. They assume this 90 degree plus theta is theta only, this whole term. So then sin 90 degree plus theta is cos theta. This is cos 90 degree plus theta. And cos 90 plus theta, you know, minus sin theta. minus sine theta. So this way you can find 180 plus theta also. Similarly 270 plus theta, similarly 360 plus. So 270 plus theta. So these formula are useful. Now we are talking about the trigonometry part has been finished. Now coordinate geometry. So okay, I will start on fresh board. You just take the photograph, snapshot. Taken. Logarithm I can teach, but the problem is how can I show you the value? Value of this much is log of this much is like this quantity. So that showing is difficult for me. Or if you permit me, then I can write by observing, seeing the books, that value I can write here. And if you have also book, then you can correlate it. Okay, no problem. If you need, then I will teach. If you need. But if you can do yourself, then I need not to teach. But if it is difficult for you, then I will teach. Logarithm part also. But normally the chemistry teacher will teach logarithm part. Okay. Now, some graph, coordinate geometry. Write the heading, coordinate geometry. Yeah. One by root 2. Yeah. Then it is little bit, you have to see the table. One table is there. No chapter is there, but one table, logarithmic table along with sine, cos, tan values. If you ask in the examination hall, if you need, then the examination department will supply you. And if you want to know what is the value of sine 35 degree, so table is there. You see sine table and what is the 35 degree corresponding value of sine in 35 degree. The result will be given. So that is permitted. That is permitted in board examination as well as, so need not to remember all these things. Yeah, permitted. Or somehow the value is given. In the last it is given that sine 35 degree is this much. Sine 37 degree is this much. Something 12 by 5, 12 by 7. That value will be given to you. So need not to worry about this. So coordinate geometry, that part is there in class 10. Coordinate geometry. Yeah, it is there. Cartesian coordinate, x, y, z. Yeah? X and y, okay. So, if you have an equation like y is equal to mx, then what should be the nature of the graph? Plotted versus y versus x. So, if I plot the graph, that is y axis, x axis, then graph will start from origin and it will go straight, where m is slope. M is slope of the line. Actually slope of tangent. So if you draw the tangent on a straight line, then that will be along the straight line only. So slope of line, and is equal to tan theta. Tan theta means perpendicular by base. So if so y is equal to mx, if it is only there, y is equal to mx, and if the equation in physics comes to be y is equal to mx plus c. So see, this part is called intercept made on positive y axis. If it is minus c, then it is intercept made on negative y-axis. So c is the intercept. For this, the graph is like this. So this is c. This part is called c. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. And tan theta, theta is this one only. So here is your m, tan theta. So if it is y is equal to mx plus c, the graph will look like this. If you plot the graph, y versus x, the graph will be at some intercept c and then draw a straight line. And if it is y equals to mx minus c, then graph will be minus c means straight one. Now the intercept is made on negative y-axis. This is negative y-axis. This is plus y. This is x. So c is not positive, c is negative. So this part is negative. This is c. So then this O, suppose I call it A, B, and then this is D. I am not writing C because C I have taken for the intercept. Then OD is nothing but minus C. But M slope is positive. The slope is positive, tan theta. So if your equation in physics comes like this form, y is equal to mx minus c, then the graph plotted will be as shown in the figure. And if you have a equation like y is equal to minus mx plus c, so should I write here y is equal to minus mx plus c, then graph comes to be c is positive, so this part is positive, c, y-axis, x-axis, and slope is negative, this angle, this is clockwise, anti-clockwise angle is taken positive, clockwise angle is taken negative, so this angle is theta, and tan theta, so instead of tan theta you have taken minus m, so slope is negative. Here slope is negative, slope is negative.